Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we've got another port over, which is Hudson Soft's pretty much titular IP, Bonks. So we're going to jump right into Bonks Adventure. Again, like I've said before on the channel, Bonks Adventures really is one of those just classic where it's not like the best game ever made, but they really are well done through and through. The game is very basic. I mean, the enemies, kind of like Mario, where you don't really have to worry about killing them if you don't need to, or if you don't want to. They're kind of like a, more or less just kind of a nuisance, just like an obstacle. Pick and choose if you really want to bother with them or not. It does have a lot of the somewhat unique features to it. It's got some of the basics, you know, we're invincible. We have the invincibility kind of thing. You have a lot of the bouncing, like a lot of Mario-esque things going on. All right, well, we're not going to bother with that at the moment because it doesn't seem to want to work with us here. The jumping is feels a little off on the port over. It doesn't feel as solid. Of course, it ran out right at the last minute. But rather than being able to just jump on things like Mario does, you know, you have to hit them with your head. You can actually climb things with your teeth. Like, there's a lot of unique things in and of itself from this game that kind of differentiates itself. But yeah, the jumping seems to be a little off on the port, to be honest. Like, it almost feels very difficult to really, I mean, I know that part of it is because of the level and what's going on, but honestly, like, the jumping just in general feels off. And I really don't like the way the clouds work in this. Like, you're supposed to be able to climb these. Yeah, see, there's the extra man over there. Then we gotta... I do forget that we can do this. This is the only thing we care about, is just getting the extra dude. But unlike the first couple... Well, honestly, only the first Mario is the only one that didn't have bosses. As long as you hit things with your head, you're usually good to go. But you can honestly, if you can get high enough, for whatever reason, it's not doing it very well on this one. Like, it was pausing. So, it doesn't feel like a clean port. It really feels like, and then we're not able to run. We're invincible and we still took damage from him, huh? But anyways, like, we're not able to run like I believe you were able to in the first one. Or in the actual game itself. But this right here, like, we're just pausing at random spots. And it's really kind of annoying, and I think it's going to have a detrimental effect here on the boss. Yeah, see, like, we hit him in the back, and it still caused damage where we're supposed to actually hit him. I don't know why it's causing damage when we... probably because we're actually hitting... We missed his, like, little hump. Yeah, like, the hitbox on that is so stupid, where, like... That's the biggest issue I have with why I feel like, this is kind of, like, in the middle, where it's not necessarily a bad game, but it's not necessarily a good one, is because of stuff like this. Like, we've seen this before, where the hitbox is off. And it's off just really stupidly to where it makes everything just that much more difficult for no reason. And like the Game Boy run right here is not responding overly well. Like, you're supposed to just spin, spin, spin. Here it kind of spins and pauses and stops. It doesn't feel like an overly, really well done port, where there's a lot of, like, again, with the issues with just the spinning, where you're supposed to have that specific ability that's supposed to do a particular thing, and it's not doing it properly because, for whatever reason, I don't know why it's not. And the game just feels a little slower. I mean, it's Game Boy. You expect it. It's not like a big deal. This kind of game, sometimes the being a little slower isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's just something to keep in mind for the Game Boy version of it. But yeah, see, like, you can see the pausing in the spinning, where normally it would just spin out. But it's not fully doing what it normally does. Oh yeah, you can but they really do make the enemies more so, just like I said, more of a nuisance, and really, they don't really matter. Like, almost nothing in this game really matters getting. At all. That one was mine. We got too close to the edge. The controls a little, not necessarily bad, but not great. The levels are very short for the most part. And also they really are pretty well done. could do without the constant, we're supposed to be invincible on that, but if for whatever reason it's still having us taking damage. But yeah, the cloud jumping is really bad. Like, it's so almost impossible to do that properly. Like, you can't just, like, go on it. It really is just obnoxious. Like, I really feel like this is one of the worst parts of this game, and just so poorly done, to be completely honest. Like, the cloud thing is just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we trying to get up there, but with the bird and the fact that the cloud thing sucks, it's whatever. The boss designs are somewhat decent, but also kind of poorly done in a lot of aspects. They make it out to be very cheesy. This one's not so bad, but like some of them, with the way the hitboxing and everything is, really poorly done. And I think this is just phase 1. And this phase 2 gets a little worse. See, stuff like that, just cheesy. Oh, we did get him. Oh, so we didn't, I don't know. It looked like we got hit and killed, but I guess we didn't. I stand corrected. We didn't get any of the stuff, but... I mean, I'm sure there's more to the level, but, I mean, we really do have, like, a very, like, this really does feel like there was the, Mario roadmap for this game with a little, but, you know, you had to tweak it in order to make it their own. Yeah, you can see, like, I'm rapidly hitting it, and I didn't land on my feet. Fun little, bonus levels. I mean, you expect it in water. I don't really mind how that played out. It's understandable. We're in water. It's not the best for controls. Never is. But all in all, the levels really just feel like something to fill the game. None of the levels really have any kind of really heart and soul or feel to them, because they're short. You can pretty much avoid everything, and there's no real pressing anything. So that's like the disappointment of I think that's the worst part of the game. It makes it a playable, fun little thing, But it really doesn't have, the levels really don't feel like they matter. It's just kind of a little filler until you get to the boss. But the bosses too are just kind of meh. That's why I like the games. They're decent little games, but they really do fall right kind of in the middle where they're playable. They're not really bad. Nothing really is wrong with the games ever. Like, they're all the same pretty much. Nothing really bad with them, nothing terrible, but they're just basic bitches, more or less. You know, they're there. They're there, they're playable, you know, they have their own uniqueness to them, but nothing really, like, overly stands out. And as you can see, a lot of the issues where we had to jump out 6 different times before the computer actually had us do the proper jump. Like, absolutely just worthless in a lot of aspects where it's just a waste of time. Whoa, son of a monkey. And it's kind of funny we're not getting hit by the flippers there, even though they're flipping right through us. And then, like, now we can't chew on the wall and climb. Like, little inconsistency where I get it, we're in the water, we're not supposed to go up any higher, but rather than make it to where you can't do it, just ends up there, so there's nothing, so there's no point to it. But to take a feature out of the game just in random spots doesn't make sense. And stuff, again, that is the biggest issue is the hitboxing. Like, we're hit. Ugh. You're supposed to hit it in a specific spot, but when you do, half the time it still does damage to you. So we just wait until he gets a little higher, and then we still get hit. I mean, the enemies are still unique. They have their own, you know. But we can't... I mean, we're not going to be able to clear him when he's kind of lower. See, now we're hitting the exact same spot, but we hit him this time, rather than take damage. It's just inconsistent. And that's the biggest issue I have with the medium kind of... we jumped a little too soon. You can't duck, so you're kind of... That kind of screws you, because he's too tall to jump over, you can't duck, so you're kind of screwed. But now we hit him. Just have some consistency is all I ask for in these games. We hit him, but then he hits us too. And without the running available anymore, you can't really get in there just one more. But the game is fun. The good part about these games, really, that it shines a lot thing is because of how more basic than not the game is, and a lot of things, I think it really allows a lot broader of an audience to play it. Yeah, we're having slowdown. And the slowdown is very not good. Yeah, I don't think they got the spin right on this game in this one. Ah. And like everything you do, you like it stuns you in every aspect. We jump up and hit it, we're stunned. We drop down and hit it, we're stunned. It's like can make you a little fuss, you know? It shouldn't. It's just so frustrating. It really is. I do like that you get to go back, and it does like, unlike where Mario, where as soon as you pass something, we keep, all of a sudden we jump high, like randomly. Like half the time we can barely make a jump, and then next thing you know we're hitting our head on the ceiling. Like it's so silly. The one thing I do like, you don't have a time limit. Not that you need one, because boy, we cut that close, didn't we? Our teeth touched the top. I mean, there's a little bit of technicality in the levels, but mostly, they're pretty basic, straightforward. Very, again, you can pretty much avoid almost everything if you choose to. I mean, hell, half the time you can kind of, if it actually worked properly, you would be able to spin your way through more of it. I mean, it's almost like they add this in there just so you can bypass the level. It's not worth it. I mean, you waste time, and it doesn't actually seem to be doing anything in this game. Usually you're invincible, but here, we've been taking damage every time we did it. Come on, get in the fucking thing. We take damage for no reason. Trying to control the headbutt is a little, is fairly difficult at times. Like, that has got to be the easiest boss. They just threw a bone on that one, didn't they? Good lord. See, I hate that too. Like, there's other things that just kind of make the game a little more annoying than it needs to be. Because the way it works is you really are at a disadvantage because you can't control it once you hit something and you're in that stun lock, to where when it follows you and they don't die, you just guaranteed taking damage and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So again, it's almost like fighting enemies is almost more trouble than it's worth and should just be avoided. Which goes back to the whole point where it's just like they're more obstacles to annoy than they are actually enemies, which kind of sucks because, you know. See, this is stupid. This feels a little like Kid Icarus. It even kind of has a little bit of the Icarus sound to it. I hate the clouds, so I don't even bother with the stupid things. See, it's like you can't control the jumping. The whole fucking clouds are just so goddamn worthless. They're more a nuisance than anything. Fucking hate these clouds. They suck so much. Will you just fucking die, bird? You're annoying the shit out of me. We were doing just fine, and now we can't get up there because these clouds are stupid, uncontrollable bullshit. Motherfucker! God damn it, this is annoying as shit. The clouds are fucking stupid. I've never played a single game where it was more annoying to jump on something than this game right here, right now. Like, that is so stupid. You have no control over anything. Just everything about it is fucking annoying. Oh, of course it angles perfectly, right? See, this is why I'm not, like, I enjoy Bonks to a point, definitely, but why I can never get fully behind it is because of the cheese. Like, there's just so much bullshit. That is frustrating. Fuck you, clouds. Fucking clouds. The worst thing in this entire game is the clouds. And then, like, that's the level. They're so short, they're almost, like, worthless. And then here we got bones that are going to drop, right? Really? We're getting into the cheese factor of the game. Will you fucking jump? What in the hell? Again with the whole ad, we barely get, sometimes you can grab onto things and sometimes you can't. I like when you have something that you can't fucking... These enemies are cheesy as fuck. Major cheesy. They are not stingy with the extra lives, that's for sure. So that's kind of interesting. This is a boss battle, I'm pretty sure. But they actually have it where he's like going to be popping in and out of... things like that. Hopefully we got some fruit up here so we can actually... this is just bonus points. That sucks. I was really hoping to be something so we can get more health. I did it again. We got 0 points because we screwed the landing. Oh, we're in water. It didn't seem like water at first, and then a lot more advanced water level. Ah, son of a... Ah, damn it. That's the other downside, like, you shoot up so far, you have no control. The whole thing with this game is there's very little control in a lot of these aspects. Like, you don't get to do a small pump. You shoot up there, and that's it. Which, you know, is terrible. Okay, there we go. Ah. The hitboxing is off again on that one. Well, the level is a lot harder now. Like, it's honestly not harder. It's just that they made it a lot cheesier. Like the invisible guy that pops up right at... So he died trying to get to that. Definitely needed that. Fuck you! Will you jump off? I'm gonna see if there's any... There's been a lot of extra lives around, so I figure I would check it out, but I don't see any close to the boss thing. So we took a damage even though we didn't need to, just to try to get an extra life. That's worth a shot. Very interesting level here. See, we hit him too. Annoying as fuck. Okay, that one we missed. Are we going through all the enemies again? Is that what each one's going to be? Is we do this and then the next one's open and then we do the next boss and the next boss? And that's going to be exactly what's going on. The jumping is... Something's going weird because I've done a couple of times where I go to jump and it's not jumping. Ah. See, why is it we hit his head there, but when we hit his head there, he doesn't take damage? And then why are we bouncing like that? I really dislike the inconsistency. We beat this guy no problem last time, and now everything we do, he's still hitting us. Again, I jump and he just falls down. All in all, the game itself, like I said, the Bonks Adventures are, in its core, a very decent but very mediocre scroller. Like, there's never really a major thing with Bonks that's like horrible or unplayable or anything. They're always playable, they're always decent, they're always okay. But none of them really stand out and be like, ooh, I want to play that. None of them are like Mario tier. None of them are, you know, anything. Well, it's playable, it's doable, and, you know, it's very comforting. Every single one of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, they all at the core are pretty much exactly the same. Like, they don't really come out of their comfort zone at all. They don't really try a lot of new things. It's a very basic... It's almost like they have the basic part of it saved, so they just kind of copy and paste a couple of things and alternate a few things here and there, and that's Bonks in a nutshell. Like, every single Bonks game are almost identical with a little things here and there. They're not great. They're not like they're polished to the point where all of them play the same. All of them work well. I think the port has a lot of issues that the console does not. The jumping has a few issues. The spinning seems to hiccup every now and again. It has a little bit more hitboxing problems that we saw a few times. This one, particularly on the platform, the wall or the whatever, like you fall off way sooner than you should be. So it's causing, instead of being able to jump, I'm falling instead of jumping, even though I'm a decent sized away from the ledge, and that was causing a lot of issues. The hitboxing, a little bit of the cheese going on, some of the stuff that really affects gameplay immensely that shouldn't is there. Like I said, most of the point is, you know, the game is fine, the game is fun, playable to a point. The levels are very short, almost no enemies are even there to... should even be worried about. You can pretty much skip everything and then just power through these levels like non-stop. Quick and easy. A couple things require a little bit more finessing, but as a whole, there's not a whole lot going on with the game. Like, you see the same kind of 4 or 5 enemies mostly throughout the whole game, which in and of itself is not a problem. I mean, a lot of the classics do it, but like, they don't really feel like they even really need to be there. The entire level feels like there's no real reason to have enemies except for a slight nuisance that maybe here or there take health a little bit from you. But all in all, it's just hurry to the boss, fight the bosses that are mostly well done, but with hitboxing issues and lots of inconsistencies, make them harder than they should be. But, you know, I mean, they're all pretty basic. They're all just kind of there. All the games, like I said, the game is humdrum right in the middle where you know what to expect right out the gate. That's pretty much what it is with all of Hudson Soft games, I feel like, for the most part. They're not, like, overly polished. They're just well enough done to where it's like a well-oiled machine, good or bad, regardless. It runs as a well-oiled machine that you know what to get, you know what you're getting in for, you know what to expect. There's no real bells and whistles. It's Bonks. And with that being said, guys, thanks for joining. Until next time, you have a good one.